Hi, I'm actually kind of excited about this because it's a very simple way to make gum paste sunflowers. They're wafer paper sunflower. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's wafer paper sunflowers. So wafer paper, and the center is made from wafer paper too. And I'm going to do a video on how to do that, but it actually was pretty simple. You just have to give it time to dry. And I have a wire in the back that's attached to it. I have cut out from this sheet of wafer paper that I printed a bunch of sunflower petals, and that you can just, you can do that, or you can just use regular yellow orange kind of colored wafer paper, cut out some petal shapes. And since this is wafer paper, since the center is wafer paper, you can stick the wafer paper petals to it just using water. You don't need anything special. So what I've done here is I have a whole bunch of the petals that I've cut out. Oops, I have to turn them like this. I've cut them out and I've left a little white thing on the end so that you can moisten that with some water. Very simple. You don't need any special glue or anything since it's all wafer paper, and you know that sticks to water. And you're just going to start layering rows of petals on there. And if you look at a sunflower, they only really have 1 or 2 rows of petals. Now see, this one I've left 2 together, so I'm going to put that on and then cut it because it looks better when they're cut. They only really have like 2 or 3 rows of petals, and they're all about the same length. And it's not like there's rows and rows and rows of petals, so you really don't have to do too much to fill this out. But this is really, oops, just make sure you're sticking it in the right place because it wants to grab itself. There's that. And I've run out of petals, so I'm going to cut out some more. And again, you can just use regular yellow, kind of orangey yellow wafer paper. You don't need the printed petals. I guess I could list this in my shop if I wanted to, but you can just download this. If you have a picture of a sunflower and an edible ink printer, you can do it yourself. If you don't, I guess I'll just use the yellow paper. That's the easiest thing. Okay, and I'm leaving these in rows, so I'm not separating them all completely, just because it's big enough that I can do that. Maybe like that much of them I can do, and that'll probably layer when I apply it to the flower. The centers were really easy to make. I was surprised. I'd been thinking for a while that I wanted to try it, and I did that one and then this little one, and it's pretty. I just used kind of random white paper, but you can use any color paper, and I'll post both videos on how to do it, so look for the other one for the centers. All right, so just keep layering these. Let me put this one here. Try to fill in the spaces so that it stays a pretty round shape, and look online for pictures of sunflowers before you do this. I think that's usually the best way to make sure that you're making things that actually look like the flower that you want to make, as opposed to some random fantasy flower that doesn't really exist. But most people will see the round center, the large brown center, and the yellow petals, and they'll recognize this is a sunflower. Now this one I want to move like that. And I have one more. This is a little uneven, but you can always go in, since it's wafer paper, and just cut the petals so that they're shorter. Well, look how simple that was. It takes like 10 minutes to put that flower together at the most, except for the drying time for that. But very easy, very simple. You know what, I will list the wafer paper petals at some point, and I'll put the link on the video for that. So if you want to get flower petals to make your own flowers, then that's a good option, and it's very simple. Okay, so leave me any questions, and watch the other video showing how to make the centers, because it was very simple, and this makes them light and easy to attach the petals to. It's very easy.